Yesterday, Sayadaw touched on the restraint of the senses, especially the seeing or sight. So if you can have the restraint of the sight by observing, seeing the moment they take place, then there will be no room for the mental defilements to make the mind heavy and wet and heavy. So the same with the other senses, the rest senses, like the sound, smell, taste, touch, and so on. So if you can note the senses, the moment they occur to you, then there will be no room for mental defilements. Otherwise, mental defilement will come into your mind, make your mind wet and heavy. The more mental defilements coming in, the heavier your mind becomes. It's just like a liquid or water. So naturally, the liquid and the water make the things heavy. So in the same way, this type of mental defilement make our mind the head wet and heavy. So no longer fresh and active. Then the laziness, the fatigue take place. That's a great obstacle to the meditation practice. And then that laziness is also mentioned as a internal enemy, internal interference, obstacle. So to fight that laziness, as mentioned repeatedly earlier days, the aiming, right aiming, or the paying attention to the object with a great effort, the right aiming is necessary to counteract the laziness. That's Buddha's teaching, Buddha's guidance, not Shadow's guidance. If you follow this guidance, and you can make progress in the practice. So some yogis, Shadow said he found, they have overestimated their achievement, overconfidence, because they have practiced before with many other teachers. They thought they have well trained, they well learned, and so they rarely pay suitable attention to the teacher's guidance here. Actually, most of the time, their knowledge and their experience is not very deep enough, but still superficial. So it should be, you should take great care about the mental attitude. The overestimate is a big problem. With the overconfidence, you may look down upon others yogi, and then you may look down to the teacher and his guidelines. So individualization sometimes is another problem. Your seeing, your practice based on your individualization, that's great obstacle to practice. Your practice should be based on your own experience. Otherwise, individualization is a big problem and obstacle to your practice. So imagination, intellectualization is a great obstacle. Be careful not to interfere with your practice. Anyway, you have see enough time to amend your attitude. So you should spend your time wisely, following the teacher's guidelines. Otherwise, you will become what we call the chronic yogi. Just like chronic patient, not easy to cure. So in the same way, if you cannot make progress for long, and because you not follow strictly the teacher's guidance, then your practice become boring and then you become chronic yogi. It's not easy to cure. So be careful not to be so, and then you should amend yourself in time so that you can make suitable progress in a suitable amount of time. So here the teachers giving guidance according to the Buddha teachings, outdoor compassion and loving kindness. So yogis need to follow strictly the guidance so that he can make progress in the practice. So yogi is supposed to experience the real phenomena of Paramatma. He need to report his own experience. That's the wisdom, insight, knowledge. There is two kinds of perception, sanya and panya. Sanya perception is sometimes right, sometimes wrong. The panya, the perception, is always correct. So panya is two words combined, pa, prefix, and nya. Now they combine panya. Pa means in several ways. Nya means knowing or perception. Panya means knowing or several ways, in several ways. So if you pay proper attention and make suitable effort in the practice, you can see real phenomena. So you don't need to report what you have imagined, what you have intellectualized. You can report your own experience. So if you mentioned your imagination and intellectualization, that's not sincere, that's not honest. That's your own imagination, not your own experience. So to have your own experience, you must put effort in the practice. Otherwise, you cannot find real phenomena through your own experience. Like the eating food. If your mind is restless, going, wandering, thinking here and there, you cannot pay attention to the food. Then you cannot enjoy the taste of the food. You may swallow without enjoying the taste, without experiencing the taste. Then you may suffer from indigestion. And so you have to choose the food and enjoy the taste. What the taste is, you can experience by yourself. So in the same way, if you pay proper attention to the object, then you can experience real phenomena involved in the object. That's your own experience. In Pali called Attapajjaka. Attapajjaka means what you directly experience. That Attapajjaka is Paramatma, ultimate truth. You can experience that ultimate truth for the mind and the body as if you were seeing through your naked eye, seeing something through your naked eye. You can experience real phenomena from your own experience, ultimate truth, Paramatma. So if your mind is going here and there, and not without paying attention to the object, and without obeying the teacher's guideline, there's no way for you to see real phenomena, real mind and body. Whereas if you pay follow the teacher instruction and make suitable effort, then you can see the real phenomena, paramata, ultimate truth, the mind and the body. And later you can see causality and relativity, and then there are changes, impermanence. Changing from moment to moment, you can see the impermanence. And then you can see their conditionality. There is no person or individual involved in these mental and physical processes. Only mind and the body present and passing away according to the law of cause and effect. You can see clearly from your own experience. Then you can report your own experience clearly. That you are in this way. Your report is honest and sincere, because your report is based on your own experience. So meditation practice can be compared to a research, self-research. When you make a type of research, for example, on yourself, you have to report your research in its sincerity or the clear manner. You don't need to embellish or decorate your discovery. You just report your experience, your discovery, without embellishment, without decoration, in a simple day-to-day language. That's the nature of the research. So meditation is a type of research, self-research. All you need to do is you have to observe what really happened, and you just report your discovery without embellishment, without decoration. That's all you need to do. So to get the full advice from the teacher, you also need to be ready, and your mind also need to be flexible to accept the guidelines from the teacher. And as mentioned repeatedly, all you need to do is to observe the objects newly occurring to you from moment to moment, starting from rising, falling, or the abdomen. So report is quite simple. The way to report is quite simple. So you just express your own experience. That's your only concern. So you need to mention whether you are able to observe the objects concurrently, precisely, and accurately. You need to express your own experience. So if you can observe precisely and accurately, then you need to mention one more. What's your experience? It is just form, or the object, or the manner of the object, or you can see the phenomena beyond the manner, like the heat, or warmth, or cold, tension, or tightness, motion, and so on. So what you see should be expressed clearly. And if you cannot observe, then what you are doing? And where your mind is going? Wandering thought, how you deal with the wandering thought? Whether you are able to know that wandering thought or not, or how long the wandering thought going away. You need to explain what really happening to you. So the report and the practice are very simple, not complicated at all. So yogi need to see the object at the moment they take place, and he need to report what he really experienced when he noted an object. Some yogis, when they are asked whether they are able to note the rising falling without break, how long they are able to note. Then they said, oh, they can note rising falling without break, without wandering thought interval for long, for 10 minutes or 5 minutes, without any break. They said, that's too good to be true. This practice is not that easy, although simple, not that easy. It's a matter of the concentrated mind. So if you say you are able to focus the objects one after another without break for long, that means your practice is not very correct, and your report is too good to be true. It's Sayadaw gives an example here. The two apprentices or two students, they approached to the teacher for the study of the music. So the teacher, so one of them is learn nothing at all before, but another is have learned a little bit. So the teacher said the latter, who has learned a bit about the guitar, or how to play the guitar, the harp, the musical instrument. So he said, you must pay more than the other. Actually, he has learned a little bit, but he must pay more. Because it's difficult to teach such a person who learned a little bit, who didn't learn fully, but a little bit. So difficult to correct, take time to correct his mistakes. So the one who learns a little bit about something must pay more. So the one who has learned nothing about that and need to pay a regular price. So in the same way, some yogi they have learned or practiced with other teachers, and they have overestimated themselves and their achievement, and they have overconfidence. So they hesitate to follow the teacher's instruction. So another example is dyeing a cloth. When we dye a cloth, so if there is a particular color, it's difficult to make the color we wish. It's difficult to dye the color we wish. So in the same way, if you have such the color, then difficult to dye the color we wish here. So Sayadaw said, while practicing here, during the intensive retreat here, you should set aside your experience, your intellectualization, your imagination, you should set aside. And you just follow the instruction given by the teacher here, so that you can make progress in the practice, so that you can have sadhana, Buddha sadhana prolonged. So if you want to see the truth, ultimate truth, the real phenomena through your own experience, then you need to follow the instructions strictly given by the teacher. Then you will be able to see the real phenomena of the mind and the body, and then you will be able to report your own experience. Some yogis, they practice carefully and intensively, so they know their mind is going out, wandering away. How often they going out, they know. So sometimes they express sincerely the problem. That means they are really practicing carefully, respectively. And they mention that means they are honest in the practice. They are true to themselves and true to teacher. So that's very easy for yogi to make correction or any mistake. It's easy to give guidance to such yogi. So it is very important to be honest to the teacher and yourself, so that the teacher can give the suitable and accurate guideline for you. One more thing Sayadaw want to say is regarding your report. So there is just to mention your result without mentioning how to practice the formula, then your report will not be acceptable. So to gain the correct answer, the correct method is very important. So to get correct method, you need to pay attention to the teacher's guideline. Just like a mathematical question. So a formula is very important. Without formula, you just give the answer. So that's not acceptable. So you need to know what the formula, how you get that answer. If you just express only answer, then maybe that's not very sincere. So if the formula is correct, although your answer may not correct, the teacher will be very happy with your mathematical answer. Maybe he may give some marks and credit. So the formula is very important. Without formula, if you give only answer, that's not very sincere. So the formula is quite simple in the meditation practice. Just observe the objects the moment they take place, precisely and accurately. That's the formula. So when you observe what you know and what the result, what the answer. So whether you are really mindful of the objects occurring to you from moment to moment. There's no time for you to analyze, to judge, to reason. All the time you must be mindful of the objects which are newly occurring to you from moment to moment. If you are able to note an object the moment it takes place, then the formula is correct. Then what's the correct answer? What's your experience with the form or the phenomena? So that's very important. Without the formula, you just mention the answer, that would be not acceptable. Sometimes some yogis they say, "Oh, I experience nothing. The whole body and the mind disappear." Something like this. They just express their experience without formula. Actually, they are supposed to mention first of all how they practice, what object they note, and then the progressively what happened. Finally, the object disappear and then the whole body disappear. Something like this. You should explain your experience through the formula. Then only your answer, your experience is acceptable to the teacher. So otherwise you may be regarded you are copying from somebody else. So that's not honest. So this honesty is one of the most quality of a yogi mentioned in the Pali text. As mentioned earlier, last time, the faith and confidence and good health and honesty, something like this. These are qualities of a good yogi. So the honesty is one of the qualities of yogi. So you should be honest to the teacher and to yourself. So some yogis, they may think the reporting, rising, falling, one time is enough. But all the time, telling about the rising, falling is boring, monotonous. They hesitate to report their practice and their experience regarding rising, falling. Because every day by day, rising, falling all the time. Actually, if you observe the rising, falling carefully, then your experience can be different or clearer day by day. Just like seeing something from distance. If you see something from distance, it cannot be clear, it's cloudy. So if you see closer, you can see clearer. The closer you see the object, the clearer the object comes to you. So in the same way, so if you observe the object with a closer attention, then the object will become clearer to you. The phenomena, mind and body involved in the object, will become more and more obvious to you. For example, rising, falling. If you pay closer attention to the rising, falling, phenomena involved in the rising, falling will become clearer. Starting from the phenomena, tension, tightness, so on, involved in the rising, falling, and they are causality, they are arising and passing away. You can see clearly and in a sincere, simple way. So it is very important to follow the teacher's instruction without any excuse, so that you can make progress in the practice. You should not do your own way. You should follow teacher's instruction. So that's very important. So during the sitting practice, please try your best to experience the rising, falling and phenomena involved in that. That's very important. So our time is up, not for today. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.